everybody and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a chocolate cupcake with a caramel buttercream. So let's get started. So we're going to start out by mixing our dry ingredients together and then our wet ingredients together and then just combining. Simple as that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sift into my dry container here 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And then we're going to do that with the cocoa powder as well, and that is 1 cup of cocoa powder. You can use whatever kind you like. If you want to make this a little darker, use dark cocoa powder or special dark. Then I'm going to add in 2 cups of sugar, 2 teaspoons baking soda, and 2 teaspoons of salt. And I'm just gonna mix that till everything is just combined. Okay. Now we're gonna do all of the wet. So first I'm going to break my eggs. Separate bowl, like always. Dump that in. And I'm just going to scramble these up a little bit. There we go. Not anything crazy, just enough to get them all mixed in. Then we have 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 cup of milk. This is whole milk, but you can use light milk or 2% or whatever. I have 1 cup of vegetable oil and 1 cup of, oh no, I'm sorry, it was 1 cup of milk, half a cup of vegetable oil is what it was, sorry. And then I have 1 cup of coffee that's been cooled. I just used like 1 tablespoon of instant espresso mixed with warm water, but if you have leftover coffee in the morning, use that. Okay, we really don't have to mix that up too much because the eggs have already been scrambled a bit. So we're just gonna add this straight in and mix it until it's just combined. All right, it is all mixed in until it's just combined and there are no more lumps.
I'm going crazy, I don't know what I should do. I keep dipping, but you stick to me like glue. Try to listen.
Alright, so I have preheated the oven at 350, and then right when it hits 350 we want to drop the temperature down to 325. And the reason why we do this is we want a lower heat to make a really nice flat top, and you want to bring the heat up because then it will gradually get lower, and it just really helps make that nice flat top of the cupcake. So we're going to put our cupcakes on the on the middle rack. It's been a long day. On the middle rack, and we're going to have them in there for about 18 minutes. It kind of depends on how your oven is. If it is a little cooler, you might want to go a little longer. If it's a little hotter, you might want to do a little less. Just around the 18-minute mark, maybe check it out. And once we pull these out, we will decorate them. So let's get them in. All right, so we have our last batch of cupcakes in the oven. The other one is already cooled completely. The other one is in the middle of being cooled down, and then we got one cooking. So let's go ahead and start our buttercream. This is just an American buttercream, but I'm gonna add my homemade caramel sauce to it. And if you would like to see the recipe for the caramel sauce, you can visit my last week's recipe on how to make caramel sauce. But anyways, you can buy store-bought as well. But my buttercream recipe is super simple. It is 2 sticks of salted butter, which is kind of a game changer because you can add salt to your non-salted butter, but it almost to me leaves like little pockets of salt. Like they don't get quite like mixed in very well. So like you'll take a bite and you'll get like a really salty spot, and I don't like that. I like to have it all mixed in. So adding the salted butter is really what I prefer. And then it's also 2 sticks of unsalted butter because I don't want it extremely salty. Plus with the caramel sauce, it's gonna add some salt to it. Whoops, oh well, because it is a salted caramel. Let's get these in and mix it up. And I'm gonna do mine with a whisk attachment that helps fluff up the butter. And if I was gonna make a cake, once I got everything all mixed together and the way I like it, I would switch out my whisk for my paddle attachment, and that knocks all the air bubbles out. But because I'm gonna pipe these just simple little mounds of buttercream, I'm not super concerned about the air being in it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get this started. Okay, so I have the butter all nice and whipped. As you can see, it almost looks like buttercream already. And then I'm just gonna add, I've never done this before, so I'm just gonna eyeball it, wing it. And this is the caramel sauce I made actually earlier today, but you'll see it next week, or last week. I'm gonna add in about a half a cup. Oh, so beautiful. Okay. Can't even tell you guys how good this caramel sauce is. I'm gonna add that in. I'm just gonna whip that up as well. All right, that's mixing in very beautifully. Just wanna scrape down the sides and make sure I get the butter that's just always seems to be at the bottom. And as of right now, I'm not gonna add any extract. Once the final product is done, I'll taste it, and if I wanna add a little like vanilla or something, I'll do that at the end. So we're gonna add in, it's roughly 5 cups of powdered sugar. And it depends, we might use less, it might use more. I've never added the caramel before, so I don't know how it's gonna work with the frosting, but yeah, anyways, we're just gonna add in the 5 cups, not all at once, just a little bit at a time. That way, if we need to add less or more, we have control of it.
I'm going crazy, I don't know what I should do. I keep pimping my juice.
Okay. Now, because I don't know what this tastes like, I'm just gonna give a little taste test, see if we need to add more extract or more caramel sauce. I think we need to add a little bit more of the caramel sauce. I probably put in roughly a quarter cup more. Taste test. Yeah, that's much better. Good. Good. All right, so these are the ones that have been sitting out for a while. They're nice and cool, so we're just gonna pipe these. I have a Wilton 1A in here, and it's just an open round tip. It's just a little bit larger. So I'm just gonna make swirls on these. Like nothing super fancy. And you see, I don't know if you can tell very well. I'll look at this one, but see there's little air pockets, all those little dots in there. That is what I was talking about, how there's air in there, but since I'm just piping these, I really don't care. All right, now that I got those all done, I'm gonna go and throw them in the refrigerator just so they firm up a little bit before I do the next step. All right, so I thought that it would be fun to do, I have some of my homemade caramel sauce in this little piping bag. I'm just gonna snip the very, very tip of this off just to get a fine drizzle. And I thought maybe I would shred up some just Hershey bar on top. So let's see how that goes. Hopefully this caramel sauce doesn't make a huge mess. right. There you go. Doesn't that look absolutely scrumptious? If you'd like to see more recipes, tutorials, and baked goods like these, please like and subscribe below. Have a great day, everybody.